Hey, shalom, shalom, all praises, honor, glory goes to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Barakah, Quadash. Double honor to the apostles, bishops, elders, the great millstone, who rule well. Peace and blessings to you, fellow brothers, pushing out this word in truth and sincerity. Shbachnak, coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Barakah, Quadash. Shalom, shalom to the Lord's elect. Okay, in this video, again, we're going to do another health video, and we are going to speak about nervous system remedies, okay, your nervous system tonics. And these are a set of herbs that are very, very important to understand and know how to use, especially for a whole host of ailments, because the nervous system is literally like the control center that governs every function in your body. So any disease state is always going to have a level of nervous system issue. Essentially, it's going to be directly tied to the nervous system. Indigestion, constipation, especially anything to deal with your mood, anxiety, depression, liver issues, spasms, cramps, insomnia. I mean, pretty much any issue, any ailment, there's going to be a level of nervous system depression or too much excitement. Okay, and this is manifest in many different symptoms. So this is just like a brief video. I'll be going more in depth into the different nervous system remedies and how to actually use them. But this is just going to be kind of like a general overview, just to kind of get you up to speed and why it is important to deal and understand with your nervous system remedies. So I'm just going to speak freely. I didn't prepare this or anything like that. I just wrote down a couple of remedies that I've worked with for a couple of years, for maybe for at least 6 going on 7 years. These different remedies that I've been working with. And we'll just speak freely about these different nervous system remedies, also known as tonics. Okay, as I was explaining earlier, how the nervous system governs every function in your body. Okay, so there's always going to be some type of nervous system irritation, some type of nervous system excitement, some type of nervous system depression, some type of something's out of whack. Memory problems, something's out of whack. Okay, spasm, something's out of whack. Cramping, intestinal cramping, colic, something's out of whack. Something, and it's all tied to your nervous system. Okay, so we'll go through some remedies. I especially like these remedies because they're tied to directly how you feel. You feel, anger, irritation. Brothers deal with anxiety. And this is actually how I got into these nervous system remedies way back, way before when I got into herbs, taking herbs, is because I was dealing with like anxiety. You just had those anxiety feelings to live with years and years of anxiety. I know brothers suffer with that anxiety. A lot of people suffer with that anxiety. And it's the anxiety is not necessarily the disease itself. It's a manifestation of a deeper issue, but there's a heavy nervous system element that's tied to it, and these remedies help. Okay, so they'll help with sleep, your insomnia, nervous system, as well as, of course, there's other things, but a lot of insomnia is nervous system. These things will help with headaches. Okay, it will help with mood issues. It will help with premenstrual syndrome. When before women go through their menstruation, they start bugging out. So it helps with that. It helps with cramping. It helps with spasm. It helps with tremors. Helps with delirium, stomach issues. You might eat a particular food and you might start getting cramping in the stomach. Those are all nerves. Remember, the nerves govern digestion. They control digestion. It's the autonomic nervous system. It's automatic. Okay, and something can go wrong. Okay, so I have a list of here. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of my favorite nervous system remedies. There's much more, but we're just gonna keep it small. We're just gonna talk about a little bit of these remedies and why you should be tincturing these remedies or taking them in a tea, okay, on a daily basis to strengthen the nerves. And you will just generally feel better. It's going to calm you. It's going to relax you. They're going to bring more focus. They'll just mellow you out, okay? And especially if you are recovering from any disease, there's always going to be an element of, okay, irritation and worry. So brothers that worry a lot, okay? Brothers that, having all these crazy ass thoughts, circular thoughts. You can't go to sleep because your mind is racing, right? Well, I deal with that. Brothers do. Everybody deals with that, some more than others. And you just power through them. Oh, yeah, that's good. You power through it. But also, too, there's remedies that the Most High put down here on earth. Okay? Right? So, and they help with pain. So a lot of these nervous system remedies, they relax the body. They'll relax skeletal muscle. I talked about skeletal muscle in one of my videos, and that's the muscle, the majority of your muscles, your skeletal muscle, the thick muscle mass around your whole body. That's the skeletal muscle. So it'll relax that, the tension in the neck, the tension in the shoulders, the tension in the lower back, right? But it'll relax also smooth muscle. So the muscle that surrounds the intestines, the stomach, the colon, the gallbladder, the pancreas. These things can become spastic. Okay, first remedy. This is a remedy that I really didn't understand when I first took it because I kind of didn't, and I didn't feel like it was powerful. But over time, really working with this herb, especially the fresh tincture, which is it's not hard to get. You can buy the fresh tincture, but you can also tincture this. This is Skullcap. Scullaria angustifolia. I believe the Latin name is, okay? Skullcap. There's another Skullcap, basical Skullcap. That's Chinese. I'm not talking about that. This is a North American remedy, okay? Skullcap. Scullaria latifor. I forget it. Angustifolia, I believe, right? So Skullcap, the fresh tincture. I like the fresh tincture, but the dried tincture, you can tincture this at a 1 to 5. Tincture Skullcap at a 1 to 5. I actually just have some Skullcap. Where was it? I just tincture some. Right. I tincture at a 1 to 4, but I just made some Skullcap out of the dry herb, okay? What does Skullcap do? Well, it's going to help ultimately relax the body and relax the mind. Okay, that's ultimately what Skullcap generally does. It lessens irritation. All right, it lessens the anxiety, that worry. It puts you just in a better mood. It also is used for sleep. All these nervous system remedies also can be used for sleep. Okay, Skullcap is gentle enough that you can take during the day. All right, so there's tiers within your nervous system remedies. Skullcap is mild. Okay, Skullcap is mild. You can take too much Skullcap and become too relaxed. Okay, that's pretty much going to be the side effect of taking too much of your nervous system relaxants, or what they will call nervine relaxants. All right, nervine is associated with your nervous system, and what they do is they relax the nervous system. So when there's too much energy, there's too much excitement, right? Racing thoughts, uneasiness, anxieties, right? Worry, right? Though that's all too much nervous system excitement. Okay, spasm, right? That's all cramping. That's all nervous system, just feeling uneasy. The irritation. You just feel like when you took too much coffee, you know, and you just kind of like all over the place, racing mind. You're all over, looping thoughts, right? You can't concentrate. That's all nervous system excitement. So what these remedies do, the nervous system relaxants, is they kind of tone down all that excitement, okay, and they give you more of a more level-headed, more relaxation. You don't need a lot. I've given people 5 drops of a tincture of a blend of any of these herbs, either single herb or a combination of different herbs, nervous system remedies, and they'll feel that relaxation, especially if they're prone to a lot of mood disorders. Okay, so Skullcap, one of your North American top remedies. Okay, try to get the fresh tincture, but you can tincture it dry. When you tincture it dry, you're gonna use less of the tincture because the dry is gonna be a little bit stronger. Okay, the fresh is a little bit more active, right? I don't have I don't tincture the fresh tincture because I will have to go out and forage for that, the fresh herb, right? So I'll tincture it dry, but I'll go and buy a little bottle, a 1-ounce bottle of fresh Skullcap tincture, or I'll use the dry tincture as well. The dry tincture still works. Okay, so especially if you got sleep issues, okay, anxiety issues, you just feel when you wake up in the morning, you're just anxious, that anxious spirit, okay, that you just can't calm down. You get heavily irritated at certain things. You're short tempered. Okay, I love these nervous system remedies because they tone down all that just scatterness. Okay, so Skullcap. Get to know Skullcap. Tincture Skullcap 1 to 5. Okay, at 50% alcohol. Okay. St. John's wort. Now I brothers know St. John's wort. They know that about St. John's wort years back when I took too much of St. John's wort. If you take too much of St. John's wort, you will experience, what do they call it? You would what, I forget exactly how they call it, but the sun will start to irritate your nerves. Okay, like you will get sensitive to the sun. And you got to take a lot of it, like a whole bunch of it. Okay, and I did this years back before when I was on no level to even under. I'm just taking it'll calm you. St. John is a top herb. I love St. John's wort. It's also known within herbalism as a tropo-restorative. Skullcap and St. John are tropo-restoratives. They just don't actually relax you. They strengthen the nerve. Okay, so your nervous system is more resilient. Okay, and you have a lot of, again, pretty much all diseases is going to be associated with some type of nervous system dysfunction. Okay, so these classification of herbs are not really appreciated. Some people, they'll take, just a calming tea. They'll take it every once in a while. A little bit of Skullcap or a little bit of St. John, but these herbs are to be used strategically, are for a purpose. They're literally there for a purpose. Now you can use them in short amount of time for certain acute issues, but these things can be used in low doses for extended period of time to strengthen the human body. Okay, to strengthen the mind. A lot of these herbs don't necessarily work directly on memory, but memory can be affected because the mind is too scattered. You see what I'm saying? So you can actually, the memory, you have low memory, or you can't concentrate because the mind is going too fast. And this is all associated with nervous system excitement. Okay, the nervous system is firing, and it's firing sporadically when it shouldn't be firing. Okay, so what these herbs do, not only do they tone down all that noise, they strengthen that connection. Okay, so now the mind is just like calm. It's like, oh shit, I'm just calm now. I'm just relaxed. I can just chill out. And if you're trying to especially heal from any chronic disease, you need to be in a relaxed state. Okay, you need to be in a relaxed state. You can't heal in a what they call a sympathetic nervous system. Your stress response. Okay, your body is firing off all these stress hormones, and those stress hormones are acidic, and they're going to erode. You need to be what Esau call a parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest. Okay, again, going back to digestion, which St. John and Skullcap also help with digestion. Okay, not as a bit. Well, Skullcap has bitter principles, so it gently will start stimulating hydrochloric acid, pancreatic enzymes, and bile flow. Gently, I wouldn't really look at Skullcap as a pure. It's not a pure bitter, right? It's more of a nervous system relaxing remedy, but it does work with digestion. But what these remedies do, for sure, St. John and Skullcap, is that they help. They work on the nerves that are associated with digestion. So you'll have times where you'll eat food and you'll feel fine, right? And then you'll eat food and then you'll start having problems, because digestion is an automatic thing. You don't say, okay, hey brain, hey body, I'm about to eat this food. I want you to start breaking this food down, right? You don't say that to yourself. You eat the food and it happens automatically. But it happens automatically because there's nerves that are associated with controlling all the mechanisms. It controls, okay, hey, let's fire, let's turn on, let's move acid, let's bring acid into the system. Food has come into our body. Let's bring acid, let's excrete acid so we can break the food down. Okay, now liver, let's create bile so we can start breaking down fats. You don't say that. Your body automatically does that. And that's all dictated by your nervous system. Okay, you can have a nervous indigestion or nervous stomach issues, okay, where it's associated with anxiety. You might have anxiety around eating particular foods, or the different foods actually bring anxieties or bring discomfort or bring indigestion, because the nerves are weak. Essentially what I'm saying, the nerves are weak, and these remedies strengthen the nerves. But not only do they strengthen the nerves within the stomach, some do it better than others, like St. John really strengthened the nerves in the stomach, but they also strengthen the nerves in the mind. Okay, and this is what, going back into memory, going back into focus, you will find out that you have a lot more focus, and you're able to relax, you're able to chill. You know, certain individuals, they're just too high strung. They're always all over the place. Okay, they're too high strung. They're always, you got brothers and sisters that have worry demons. Okay, ain't nothing wrong. They're just worrying, and that actually wears down the body. So these remedies will help relax and say everything is okay if you get the dose right. Okay, so both of those herbs, St. John, okay, Skullcap. Going back into St. John, I didn't really go into detail what St. John separating from Skullcap. St. John is a great herb. It relaxes, but it uplifts. So Skullcap, generally, it just relaxes. It just calms you. Okay, you just feel more calm. You feel more stable. You know what I mean? St. John, it does calm you. You do get that calming feeling. You do get that relaxing feeling. And you could take too much, you can be like just really sunken in. Just like, well, you don't even want to go nowhere, right? But St. John has a ability to lift, right? In herbalism, St. John is energizing. it will lift you out of those states of depression. St. John is a herb that has been used traditionally for those depressed type nervous system, okay, issues, right? So you have nervous system issues when there's just too much energy, and then you have nervous system issues when there's not enough energy. It's depressed, excitement and depressed. So going into depression, a lot of that is associated and directly correlated to nervous system. Okay, what I'm saying, what am I saying, that if you start taking, you're in depression, you have major depression or whatever, maybe mild, whatever, you start taking St. John and you're cured? No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that every disease has a nervous system association, and certain ailments that we suffer are tied directly to the nervous system more than others. And this is, again, these classification of herbs are very important to know, because this can be a missing link within your remedies. So you might be taking detoxifying remedies, you might be purging, you might be doing, but then you're not actually going back and you're not strengthening the system. You're not strengthening the nerves. You're not strengthening digestion. You're not what they call toning. Okay? So both of Skullcap and St. John's wort can be used in tonic doses, which is to tone, which is to strengthen, okay? Which is to make sure that the body is returning back into balance. You're not just using it as, okay, I'm high strung and I want to drink this tea, which you can use it like that as well. You can do that as well. But these herbs are to be taken for multiple weeks, multiple months, cycle on and off, to go in and strengthen the system. And you'll notice that it's like, oh, I feel a lot more calmer. So your baseline is a lot more calmer. Okay, that's St. John. If you take too much of St. John, you will become, that's the word it came to me, photosensitive. But in the proper dose, you're totally good, okay? A 1 to 5 tincture, anywhere from 5 drops to 1 or 2 milliliters. That's all you need 3 times a day. Same thing with Skullcap. 5 drops, some people with 5 drops is all they need. Okay, 5 drops Skullcap. They feeling it. Okay, others need 1 to 2 to 3 milliliters. Okay, if you take too much of these herbs, you're generally just gonna be more relaxed. You're gonna just be super drowsy. It's gonna get you more tired. So what do is that you decrease the dose. Okay, lemon balm, one of my favorite herbs. Lemon balm, I love lemon balm. And lemon balm also too is also a memory herb. Okay, because remember I was talking about the looping mind, the scattered brain. Your memory might not be because of a particular issue. It's because you can't concentrate. See what I'm saying? So all these remedies, but especially lemon balm, they strengthen the mind. Okay, so when we think of nervous system, what do we think? I don't even know what people think about the nervous system. They say, oh yeah, how I feel. I don't know. But these remedies are tied directly to how you feel. Okay, so you'll just feel better. And all of these remedies also, what is called, what is the word? Well, basically it's anodine. Okay, anodine, which is pain relieving. Okay, I'm not saying that these herbs are pain relieving. This is not medical advice. Okay, and I didn't say it and open it up in the video, but you already know this is not medical advice. This is herbal education. Okay, lemon balm, again, a great herb. Any of these herbs you can buy the fresh tincture. You go to the store, if you get Skullcap, they're pretty much going to tincture it fresh. St. John's wort, they're pretty much going to tincture it fresh as well. And lemon balm, they're going to tincture it fresh. But you can tincture these things dry as well. I think I have St. John's wort one over somewhere. It's in one of these, yeah. But 1 to 5, 1 to 5, yeah. I have lemon. Okay, yeah, I have lemon balm. Here's lemon balm. I make mine a little bit stronger. 1 to 4. I do a different method. I'll be showing that method of percolation. But this is fresh. No, is this dry? This might be dry lemon balm. Yeah, this is dry lemon balm. Dry lemon balm is great too. I mean, when you dry these herbs, they're still gonna keep a lot of their properties. Okay, and I'll go into the difference between fresh herbs and dry herbs. I mean, the fresh herb is going to have more water, but that's not all. When you do dry particular herbs, they do lose particular properties, or not so much lose, but diminish, and some diminish more than others. So there are a lot of times particular herbs you want to tincture fresh, and then certain herbs you want to tincture dry. But drying the herbs, they work. Any of these remedies, you can do it in a tea. Skullcap tea, St. John tea, lemon balm tea. Okay, get these remedies. They do a lot more things. Okay, lemon balm. We're talking about lemon balm. Lemon balm also works with overactive thyroid. Okay, lemon balm also it relaxes, but it lifts your mood. So it'll lift you out of those deep dark places. Okay, it'll just kind of give you like a better outlook. Okay, it'll say, "Hey, look, everything's okay." You're like, why are you tripping? Because a lot of the hell that we catch is associated with the thoughts that are in our mind that restrict us from seeing the good. Okay, those negative thoughts. So these herbs, they help like counteract a lot of those negative thoughts, a lot of that depression, and a lot of that anxiety, a lot of that irritation. Okay, and lemon balm will lift the mood. I've seen give somebody 5 drops, a milliliter. A milliliter is about 30 drops, and then within like a couple of minutes, most of the time, a minute, 2 minutes, it's like almost instant. You just see it, especially in a tincture form. The tea is going to be a little bit. It's going to take a little bit longer to activate, but the tea is great too. I mean, lemon balm tea, and it's a great tasting tea. Okay, lemon balm tea. Lemon balm and St. John wort go really well together. Really, they counteract each other. I wouldn't say counteract. Excuse me. They balance each other, because St. John's wort, if you take too much St. John's wort, you can become irritated. You can just feel uneasy with too much St. John's wort, because St. John's wort is lifting. Lemon balm is it is lifting, it is uplifting, but it's going to counteract all the irritation that St. John wort possibly could give you. So they combine really well. You can use that especially when you're the seasonal depression. Okay, there's a formula. It's called the happy formula. It's just St. John and lemon balm. They work great in a pair. Okay, you can pick up a tincture at the store. Okay, but I will buy the herb. I would tincture that herb 1 to 5. Okay, lemon balm or St. John, or you can combine them both together, or you can make a tea. Okay, and generally with any of these herbs, it's going to be at least 2 teaspoons, 1 to 3 teaspoons. Okay, steeped in hot water for at least 15 minutes. Okay, 1 to 3 times a day. Go 3 times a day. If you get too tired, if you get too relaxed, and I'm a little too relaxed right now, I'm not gonna lie, because I took some Skullcap and some blue vervain and some Damiana, which is all on the list, and I'm a little bit too relaxed. Okay, but yeah, you can make it into a tea. Okay, whether it's the whole herb or whether it's the powder tea. In each herb, do some research on these herbs. Go into the traditional uses of these herbs. Okay, the materia medica, of the herb. So you type in lemon balm, materia medica, like lemon balm. The name, the Latin name is Melissa officinalis. Okay, Melissa is that honeybee? If I'm not mistaken, it could be. I believe it's honeybee. Okay, Melissa officinalis. St. John's wort, Hyperum officinalis, I believe. I could be pronouncing it a little. I'm not 100% tapped in with the Latin name, but I throw that out every once in a while because there are different species, and you can get confused. Okay, lemon balm, great herb. What else? Lemon balm is really good for also digestion. You're getting digestive cramping. You're getting uneasiness. There's anxiety, pain, memory. Lemon balm is one of those herbs for memory. You gotta take these herbs. These are not things you take a tincture. Oh, brother, I'm not feeling nothing. You gotta take it. Okay. Run the remedy. You can just do one of these herbs. Okay, just one of these herbs. If these 3 herbs that I give, you can actually combine. This is a great formula. Skullcap, St. John, lemon balm. That is a beautiful formula to work with. It's a nervous system remedy. These are nerve tonics. They're going to strengthen the body. Just like we talk about detoxification. In a lot of your practitioners, detoxification. This herb is going to cleanse your liver. This herb is going to cleanse your kidney. This herb is going to cleanse your blood. This herb is going to cleanse your lymphatics. And guess what? I agree with them. Okay? I agree. Absolutely. You must, because we're in a toxic world. But not all ailments need detoxification, but all ailments can use detoxification. You also need to strengthen, right? Again, you have a deficiency of nutrients and you have an overload of toxins, okay? So you must solve both of those problems when dealing with disease, especially chronic disease when there's many symptoms that are associated with that disease, okay? Nobody is just sick for no reason, okay? If you have the big C word, right? Oh, I have the big C word, right? Well, it's no big deal. You can deal with that. That's an easy thing to deal with. It's diet and lifestyle changes. Okay, so-called incurables that can be cured. I've seen it. Okay, so nobody is just sick. You just don't have the big C word. There's many symptoms that are associated with that. So you might have to strengthen digestion. You might have to cleanse the liver, but you might have to go back and strengthen that liver. You might have to relax the body. This is where these nervous system remedies come in. The body is so chaotic. Okay, and that show up in mental thoughts. They'll show up in just how the person talk. They show how their posture is all messed up. You gotta deal with the posture. Their mood is negative. Okay, they have those negative thoughts. Their mood is down. They're depressed, right? You can't heal if you're in a depressed mood. So again, these nervous system remedies are very, very, very important. Some practitioners say you got to start with the nervous system, right? Which I say you got to deal with everything. You got to balance. You got to look into the body, and you got to see what you need to balance out. It's not all about detoxification, okay? That's another story. Okay, lemon balm. Look up these remedies, okay? Another one. Okay, we're on number 4, cramp bark. Okay. The Latin name is in my head. It's Galeum or something like that. I forget. It's coming. It's there, but it escapes. Right? But cramp bark. You don't really need the Latin name because it's only one cramp bark, okay? Very good remedy for cramping. Now, when you look into this remedy, they're going to say this remedy is for women. Okay? And this remedy is a really good herb for women. Okay? Because it works on the female reproductive system. It relaxes the uterus. Okay? It relaxes the uterus. So, you women that have bad cramping, okay? Bad cramping around menstruation or even outside of menstruation, okay? When you deal with those crampings within the uterus, okay? Anytime you deal with cramp bark, okay, you want to add a stimulant. You want to add some ginger with that as well. So add ginger, combine ginger with cramp bark. I would do that because cramp bark is cooling. A lot of these remedies, energetically, right? What they do, they cool down the body. There can be too much heat, too much heat. Also, a lot of these remedies are anti-inflammatory. Okay, so cramp bark is, as is known, it's for cramping in the body. Whether it's smooth muscles, a great thing with cramp bark is it relaxes smooth muscles and it relaxes skeletal muscles. So tight shoulders, tight back, tight neck, tight hips. Just generally overall, it's going to relax spasm over time. You just don't take it one time and I'm free, I'm great. Because it could be, why are you cramping? It can be associated with dehydration. It could be associated with mineral imbalance. It could be a whole number of different things that are associated. But cramp bark is a great remedy, especially for women. But anybody that is suffering with any type of cramping. It can be cramping in the digestive tract. It can be cramping in the gallbladder. Okay. It can be cramping in the kidneys. It can be cramping in the neck and the shoulders. You can also use this remedy topical. Okay. Topically. Cramp bark. You tincture cramp bark at a 1 to 5. Okay. Around 50% alcohol. Just do it 50%. You're good. 40 to 50% alcohol. Cramp bark. Okay. You tincture that. Anywhere from 5 drops to up to 5 milliliters, which is a teaspoon. Okay, 1 to 3 times daily. Or on onset cramping, when the cramp comes, you can take. And again, I'm generally going over these remedies. I'm not really giving specific dosing instructions, because that's another thing that I see with a lot of practitioners is they're not going to really tell you how to actually use it. They're going to just give you a general, yeah, this herb is great for that, but they're never going to tell you how much to take. Okay, they're not going to tell you what other herbs you should be taking with it, what other lifestyle changes you should be doing. They're not going to tell you how much to take and how long to take it, and the different symptoms that are associated with taking the herb, as well as the side effects that you may actually experience. So you might grab, say you grab a bottle of Skullcap, right? And you're like, I got cramping, I got anxiety, I got this, and you're taking it, and you might feel you're gonna feel some stuff. But you're taking it, and then you just stop taking it because it didn't work the way that you felt that it should have worked, right? And that's when working with a practitioner. But you should be your own practitioner. So I'm trying. This channel is all about getting you up to speed with how to use the herbs and how to use them correctly and what to expect. And it's not just taking an herb, right? But you have your diet is all messed up. Okay, that's associated with it as well, because the diet should be filled with nothing but herbs. And I'm gonna be Lord's will. Spirit, pray for me. I'm gonna be doing more videos. I mean, I'm gonna go into the diet as well. Okay, but cramp bark, anything that's associated with cramping. Okay, cramping in the uterus, cramping in the stomach, you got in the back, but also it's relaxing. Okay, you take cramp bark, you're gonna feel more calm. You're gonna feel more relaxed, and that's associated with, you have the tension, right? All these remedies, these nervous system remedies, they relax tension. Okay, so they'll lower down blood pressure, right? They'll bring down tension in the body. Okay. Another nervous system remedy, a little bit stronger here will be Passionflower. Now, I literally love Passionflower. Okay, I love Passionflower. What is passion? How I look at Passionflower and how Passionflower has traditionally been used in how it's specific for particular, like each of these herbs are, they generally hit a lot of things, but then they could be specific for a particular type, a pattern, as they will call it in herbal, a pattern. Okay, and passionflower's pattern is circular thoughts, a mind that does not shut off. Now, Skullcap is going to bring you down, and you're going to feel a little more calmer. Skullcap is amazing too, right? But then it's like Skullcap can't do what Passionflower does. But Passionflower can't do what Skullcap does. But they work together. They're best friends, right? All these remedies, okay? Because you have to understand, like, there's all these different remedies that do similar things. And this video's turning out a little bit longer than I expected, but it's all the spirit. I didn't plan for this. I was like, nah, I gotta do. I've been meaning to do another health video. I was like, nah, I gotta just let me just do. I sent the prayer up, so I pray you're edified. Okay, they generally do, like, all these remedies are gonna relax you. All these remedies are gonna calm down spasm. All these remedies are gonna, fight against anxiety, fight against depression, right? They're all gonna do that. But then you have particular of these herbs that work directly and target particular patterns. And Passionflower is one of those patterns of a circular mind. The mind cannot shut off. Okay, and you brothers and sisters that think a lot, and worry a lot, Passionflower is gonna say, nope, stop all that, and you'll just know that the mind will just go, it'll just lock in, and that's where the focus comes in. That's where the memory comes back. Okay, brothers and sisters that have issues with falling asleep, Passionflower is out of all these herbs, Passionflower is more of a stronger remedy for sleep. It's in a lot. You'll see that in a lot of sleep formulas. Passionflower, Skullcap is a little bit more mild, but can be used for sleep. St. John's wort can be used for sleep as well. St. John's wort for me is a little bit more energizing, so I wouldn't use that for sleep. But if I put it in a blend with other herbs, you can use it. Cramp bark, cramp bark can be used to gently relax too. And lemon balm too. Lemon balm, I remember when I first tinctured lemon balm. Okay, I first tinctured lemon balm 1 to 5 at 45% alcohol. Maybe 2020, 2021, something like that. Maybe 2022. I don't remember. No, it had to be at least 2020, late 2020 maybe. And I took 2 milliliters of it, and I was like, whoa, this is strong. And I was just kind of like, so lemon balm can do that. You only, if you're tincturing dry lemon balm, 5 drops, 10 drops. I mean, you have different herbalists, right? You have herbalists that they are low dose herbalists. Okay, they're low dose herbalists. And then you have herbalists that are high dose herbalists. You could be a high dose herbalist. I don't know. Jake like, the more the better, right? But not always all the time. I'm a little bit more like in the middle, right? Where it's like, I'm not going to take too much, because over time you can be relaxed too much. But this is the thing. You just got to do it. And you'll find, you'll get the experience. You can't be scared. You'll get the experience as you do it. If you take too much, these herbs are very gentle. At most, St. John's going to give you a little bit irritation. You're not going to like that. Or you're going to be relaxed too much. You're not going to like. So you just drop the dose. You don't throw the remedy out. You drop the dose. You find it, okay? So Passionflower, it's indicated for a circular mind, a mind that will not shut off. So you have insomnia, and all these herbs can be used for insomnia, okay? Because what is insomnia? Well, it's tied directly to the nervous system. You can't sleep. These remedies are also sleep remedies. Okay, so Passionflower, I think of Passionflower, it's body relaxation and mind relaxation. It's going to turn off all those thoughts that are circular. Okay, the mind can't shut off. It's always thinking. Boom, 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 boom. Passionflower. Okay. Also, all these remedies help with pain. Well, are they gonna be like knockout pain? No, I mean they're not. But they're gonna tone down, because again, Pain is what? It's a nervous system. It's all nervous. It's all nerves. There's signals that are being sent. Hey, you have pain here. And what does it do? It just buffer it down. It attenuates it. Kind of turns it down. So, right? So it'll take the mind. The pain is still there, but it'll take the mind off the pain. Right? So if your mind is off the pain, then you feel better. Right? Okay. And I love these remedies because what these remedies do and how I use them is they help you recover from dis-ease. So they're going to put you in a better mood so you can get through your protocol, you know, whatever protocol, health protocol that you're on, your diet, if you're on a cleansing protocol, you're on a detox, whatever it may be, you're healing from whatever particular disease, you take some of these nervous system remedies and you just feel better. Okay? Am I saying that you take this and then it's just so life-changing, you start hovering and you just got the full body, you got the new body? No, I'm not saying that. You still gonna be catching hell in this truth. Okay? With a nervine or not, okay? But they help. Okay? They help. Okay, chamomile. Oh my goodness, chamomile. I love chamomile. Tincture chamomile 1 to 5. Okay? You can also tincture fresh chamomile 1 to 2 at, I would do 80% alcohol. Anywhere from 75 to 95% alcohol if you're doing a fresh tincture of chamomile. Okay? Fresh tincture. Dry tincture of chamomile. I literally just finished tincturing chamomile. Give me a second. Okay? Just literally finished. This is I'm using a percolation method. And again, I'm gonna show you how to do a percolation method. You can look that up. But that's chamomile. It's dry chamomile. Okay. It's a 1 to 4. Tincture at a 1 to 5. It's a little harder to do a 1 to 5, do a maceration. But if it's even 1 to 5, 1 to 6, 1 to 7, no worries. You just take a little bit more. But chamomile, great. I mean, a beautiful, great herb. Okay. Now chamomile has a couple of different actions as well, and I haven't really went deep into the actions. This is generally, okay, but chamomile is a nervous system relaxant, so it's gonna calm you. People are aware of chamomile, how it kind of like makes you calm and relax, which is it's a great thing. You want to be calm, you want to be relaxed, you want to be focused, but you don't want to be too relaxed. Chamomile is not one of those herbs where it's gonna make you too drowsy. Maybe if you take a lot of it, of course, and everything is dose dependent, so everybody is going to experience the herbs differently. But chamomile, you're able to take this remedy throughout the day, and it's going to take the edge off. It's all about taking the edge off. But chamomile is great because chamomile is specific for digestive problems. Okay, chamomile, there's a sweet taste to that chamomile, but if you steep it long enough, you'll notice that chamomile has bitter principle. So chamomile is a digestive bitter as well. Would I classify that as like a strong digestive bitter? Like my favorite bitter of all time, gentian? No, it's not a super bitter herb, but it is bitter. So chamomile will help stimulate digestion, so it helps strengthen digestion. Okay, you have weak digestion, indigestion, acid reflux, even dealing with constipation. It's not going to work directly on constipation, but it's still going to help start breaking down that food. You're not breaking down food properly. Chamomile also is going to fight against bloating and gas. Okay, because it's a carminative herb, so it's going to help move gas out of the system as well. So it's a bitter, it'll help break down the food, help move the gas, and since it's a relaxant, it'll help calm down the stomach. Okay, again, nerves control digestion. And what happens sometimes is the nerves will start tightening up. Boom, boom, boom. Then your stomach tightens up. Bow. And you'll feel that, like, my stomach feel hard. Yeah, because you locked up. You riled up. So chamomile go in there. It's like, okay, everything's good. Let's move all this gas out. Let's calm down the stomach. Let's break down the food. Okay, so chamomile is a nervous system relaxing remedy, a calming remedy. Okay, but it's also a digestive remedy, especially dealing with nervous stomach issues. Okay, all these remedies also too, especially in lemon balm, they're gonna also have a calming effect on the heart. Okay, so palpitations, not all the remedies, but the majority of the remedies too are gonna work on the heart too, directly or indirectly. Why? Why would I say that? Because the heart is controlled by what? It's controlled by the nervous system. So everything is controlled by the nervous system. Okay, you have sleep issues, nervous system. You have mood issues, nervous system. You got the shakes, nervous system. Okay, a paralyzation, nervous system. Okay, all right. Let's go to the next remedy. This is a little bit on passion, or a little bit on chamomile. Excuse me, chamomile, great herb. 1 to 5, dry. Okay, or if you tincture it, you can tincture, or you can make a tea. Okay, any of these herbs are, you can make a tea, and they're amazing. They're amazing as a tea. Okay, let me go to one of my favorites. Okay, Damiana. Damiana. Great herb. Now, Damiana is a nervous system relaxing herb. It's slightly warming, meaning if you take too much, you can get some irritation. It kind of builds energy, right? Damiana has been used as a reproductive tonic. So it will really stimulate libido in male and female. Okay, so you have individuals that have low sex drive, and the low sex drive is associated with stress. So all these remedies, nervous system remedies, they all fight against stress. Okay, especially especially Damiana, when low libido, the desire, all right, for the opposite sex, or just trying to get up, or a woman, whatever, you have just low libido, it can be due to too much stress. So Damiana sends more blood into that area, the reproductive area, but it also relaxes. It just had, I don't know the complete science. Only the Lord knows. But that's what that herb has traditionally been used for. It's going to generally relax the system. It's going to strengthen and build the system. This remedy also, here, out of all these remedies, we have 8 remedies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yet this remedy, along with Skullcap, along with St. John, and along with the next herb, I'm going to tell you the last herb I'm talking, are all what you would classify as tropo restoratives. These herbs, all these herbs are going to generally relax, but not all herbs are going to really have a real strengthening, aspect to themselves. Meaning, you can take these herbs and it'll get you back balanced. It'll get you back right, essentially. You don't have to keep taking it forever. Okay? It's not like a forever thing. These things go back and they'll strengthen and they'll rebuild the nerves. So Damiana is one of those, especially when I think of Damiana, I'm thinking of, increasing libido. Like, you just can't, out of all your Tonka Ali, your Katwaba, your Yohimbe, your Marua Puma, your all your type of like sexual tonics, female and male reproductive libido tonics. Damiana, I really and it's a great tasting tea. It's relatively cheap. Again, you could tincture that at a 1 to 5, but it's just going to relax. It's going to combat stress. You're going to feel more calm. You can make it into a tea, or you can make it into a tincture. You can even take the powder. Okay, Damiana. I'm not gonna. All the herbs generally do the same thing. They all going to relax. They're all going to strengthen the nerves. Some are going to be more specific for this area and that area. Like, again, Damiana. Out of all of these herbs, all right, Damiana is going to be more so of one of your sexual tonics. So if you don't have that libido, you're struggling with that, male or female. So it's going to give you more desire. Okay, it's going to give you more desire. Okay, last one, and one I really like as well. blue vervain. Okay, verbena hastata. And I classify this one because you have a vervain and a blue vervain. You have a vervain, which is Verbena officinalis. It's a different species. Okay, it doesn't have the same effect. They're similar, but it doesn't have the same effect. Then you have blue vervain, Verbena hastata. You want to get that one. That's the one I'm talking about. If you get the other one too, that's cool too. Okay, you can do that too. Okay. But blue vervain is associated with a person that is a overachiever, someone that always makes lists. They have to write out everything. A person that has a lot of tension in the shoulders and the neck, that just can't calm down, that just can't relax. Vervain, blue vervain is going to be a stronger remedy. Okay, so out of these remedies, blue vervain and passionflower are going to be a little bit stronger than the other ones, which are more gentler. So you would take less of blue vervain. I love blue vervain, and again, it's going to strengthen the nerves as well. So it'll work on digestion. It'll help with the kidney. It has a detoxification effect on the kidney. The liver. It has a detoxification effect on the liver. Okay, on the gallbladder. Okay, it's gonna calm down spasm. Okay, it's gonna bring in focus. Okay, it's gonna dispel worry. All these remedies are gonna do that. That's what that's what these nervous system remedies are gonna do. So again, within the classification of nervous system herbs, we're talking about nervous system relaxants. Okay, these are nervous system relaxants. All right. To give you the opposite side of that, you have nervous system stimulants. Okay, like coffee. When you drink coffee, what happens? You start feeling better, right? Your mood gets better. But then what happens? You start crashing too. Okay, you start crashing. But coffee, tea, the green tea. Okay, yohimbe is a nervous system stimulant. You have yerba mate. You have brigham tea. You have guarana seed. You have cola nut. You have cacao. So these all stimulate and bring energy up. Okay, these remedies calm energy. Just in a simple, I'm just kind of give it to you simple. They relax too much excitement, and that can be you can't even go to sleep, right? You going to sleep 3-4 o'clock in the morning. Okay, you going to sleep 3-4 o'clock in the morning. All type of issues are going to happen with you. So you need to tap into nervous system remedies, and I'm gonna do a separate video on just specifically talking about insomnia and actually how to. I haven't really. This video is not really to go into how to use these remedies, and I'm giving you some general dosing, but just to start to get associated with these remedies and start to tincture these remedies and start to make teas out of the remedies and start to really experience these remedies. Okay, and what I would do is if you got some tea, 2 teaspoons hot water, pour on it, let it steep for 10-15 minutes, and you drink that. You drink that 3 times. 3 times a day for 4 weeks. Do 4 to 6 weeks, and you just notice how better you will be feeling. If you get too tired, drop your dose down. Okay. Your nervous system remedies. Get associated with your nervous system remedies. Yeah, the cleansing remedies. I love the cleansing remedies. You got to have those too. And we'll be doing more videos, Lord will, on those cleansing system remedies. Whether we're cleansing the blood, we're cleansing the lymphatic system, we're cleansing the kidney, the liver, and we'll go into that, the bowel, all that, the respiratory system, the skin, all that. We'll do that. But also, too, you got to know your nervous system remedies. Because when you start formulating, you want to also have a nervous system element within your detoxification. Okay, so I'm going to close it there. I pray the lesson was edifying. Until next time, shalom to the leg.